for your body. And you just need to ask me, and we work that through. We work that through a lot in this class. We're going to practice a pranayama technique today, Nodishanahana, alternate nostril breathings, kind of ground us and settle us into the moment before we begin our movement. And yes, we do talk a lot about cues and modifications so that every body, right? Everybody has its pose. The pose of a warrior one can look completely different in your body than my body and Greg's body and Babette's body and Loretta's body, right? We all take our own shape in yoga practice, and we need to honor that. And we need not to judge and think like, oh, I should do that, or get the competitiveness out and just find the pose that works best for your body. I'm Christina from Long Beach, California. I'm not outside because the light's just coming up. It's 6 a.m. here. I am a certified yoga, meditation, and spin instructor here in California. In Long Beach, things are opening up, and I'm going to begin teaching spin outside around the corner. So I'm super excited about that. I am really passionate about health and wellness. I absolutely love yoga. It brings your mind, body, and soul together through breath. And I have found that avenue to be, it has given me great contentment and fulfillment, and quite healing for my mind and body and soul over the decades. So I'm super glad to be practicing with you and learning from you. At Get Set Up, this platform, we learn from each other, right? We're lifelong learners. It's been 6 weeks, 7 weeks now, and I've learned so much, and it's been so exciting being on this platform with all of you. And we talked about the cameras. So yes, if you're comfortable, have your camera on. If you're not, you're still a part of this class. I'm still really here for you and with you. And I want you to feel comfortable unmuting yourself and asking questions anytime you have any. We are live streaming. So everybody say hi to our live streamers. Hey, live streamers, happy Thankful Thursday. Next time, register for a class and join us live so we can have a dialogue. You can request a pose that you want to work on. Finally, Get Set Up does not get paid to promote any specific products, although we do talk about products a lot. I want to introduce you to Victor. He is our Get Set Up TA. He's here today to help with any questions about the website, scheduling classes, anything like that. If you're having sound things with your computer, Victor's your guy. All right, Joyce, I'm happy to see you. I'm so happy to see so many familiar faces, and I'm happy to see so many new faces. Yay. All right, so yoga for beginners. We're going to start with a pranayama. But before we do, I just kind of want to touch base with you. Does anybody have a pose that they're kind of wondering about, confused about, struggling with, right? I don't know. Any poses that you'd like to work on today specifically? I love these classes because we can break down these poses so that when we're in a flow class, right? We're in a vinyasa class, or the class after this is strengthen and stretch with slow flow, so that when you're on the mat, you can move with confidence and you know what works for your body and what doesn't, and you're not hesitant and you feel more empowered. That's why we do this. Okay, well, we're going to work through tabletop, and we're going to work through some high lunges and some low lunges, because I want to talk about knee issues. All right, I will mute all. But
Christina, before that, can you make me a co-host? I've made you host. Thank you.
Okay. Got you. Thank you, Victor. All right, my friends, I will mute all. We will start on our mats in a comfortable seated position. So for you, that could mean you sit on a pillow or a blanket to elevate your hips right? It takes the pressure off of your hip flexors. So please do that. And if your knees come up, you can take pillows, blankets, and blocks and support your knees, right? Because you don't want them just hanging out up here. Puts too much tension on your hip flexors. So just find your comfortable place, because it's called Sukasana, easy pose. So find the easy. All right, let me get a little closer for our pranayama. We'll place the palms on our thighs and just close the eyes for a little bit. Take a cleansing breath in through the nose and exhale it out the mouth. And just kind of say hello to your breath. Feel it flow in the body. Begin to feel the rise and fall of each breath cycle. I always marvel over the fact that without this act of pranayama breath, we wouldn't be here, right? We've done it since the moment we arrived, and we will do it until the moment we leave. And yet, how often are we conscious of this life-giving act? Just, it's like an aha moment. So just cherish the sensation of life flowing in your body. And then slowly, consciously begin to deepen the breath, right? So I'm sure we have these huge lungs that we can fill up, but most of the time we breathe quite shallow, unconsciously. So let's try to slowly, with each inhale, deepen the breath a little bit more into your body. Keeping your awareness on slowing and deepening the breath. Roll the shoulders back and down, and let's sit up a little taller. Let's bring the neck in line with the spine like a double chin. Just giving our body some alignment, clearing out the space between each vertebra. Ground your sits bones into the mat.
Okay, guys, Krishna is out she's having some internet issue. She'll just come back in with 5 minutes. You can carry on with your meditation position. She has just informed me. Hello, everyone. So Christian is having issue with the internet. She is trying to connect, but she has said something to you that please, keep focusing on your breath, slowing it down and deepening it. So you can continue the process for 5 minutes. She will be here.
And let's take a deep cleansing breath in through the nose and exhale out the mouth. So we're going to work on our pranayama nodi shodhana. So we'll take the left hand today. Thank you for your patience, by the way. We're going to take the left hand and we're alternate nostrils. So we'll take an inhale and an exhale out the right nostril as we close the left, and then we'll inhale through the right nostril. We'll close the right nostril, open the left, and allow the exhale to happen. And then we'll exhale and inhale through the left and then switch. So let's take a nice deep cleansing breath. One more in through the nose and exhale out the mouth. And we'll close our lips. We'll close the left nostril with our thumb. We'll inhale through the right nostril. Exhale slowly out the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. And at the top of that inhale, close it with the finger, open up the left nostril, and slowly with control, exhale out the left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Top of the inhale, close it with the thumb, open the right, and slowly exhale out the right. Inhale through the right. Close it at the top. Open the left and slowly exhale out. Inhale through the left. Top of the inhale, close it, open the right, slowly exhale out the right. Inhale through the right. At the top, close it, open the left, and begin to slowly exhale. Inhale left. Close at the top. Open the right and exhale. Inhale right. Close at the top. Exhale left. Do a few more rounds at your own pace. Trying to slow each act of breath down a little bit more with each round. Whichever side you're on, complete that side and then do one more on each side, and we'll meet in a comfortable seated position. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Once you get there, press the palms into your hand and grow tall, creating space in your body. Draw the knees into the chest, hug them in, rock side to side. And then bring the legs down and shake them out. You can wave your feet high to me. So cute. All right. So let's talk about Sukasana for a moment. So Sukasana, let's switch the crossing of our legs. Sukasana is easy pose, but as so many of us can attest, it's not always so easy, right? It really is a hip stretch. It's a stretch in the hip. It's a hip opener. Look, by the act of our legs, it's a hip opener. So that's why I say support your glutes by lifting them up and taking pressure off your hip flexors. And some of our knees stay up. And instead of just hanging them out, I say prop up pillows, support yourself so you can find the easy in this pose. Does anybody have any questions about Sukasana? Right? It's common we start our practice grounding into the present moment and starting our pranayama in this pose. So I just want to make sure everybody's really comfortable and empowered in this pose.
Right now, I can't, this is Joyce. I can't bring my knees together like that. I can't cross my knees like that.
You can't do this.
I can't do that. No.
Okay. Okay. So can you sit like this?
Yes.
Then do that.
Okay.
Right? You don't. It doesn't have to be like this. Joyce, can you do this? Can you do this?
Yeah.
Is okay.
Yes.
So you can also do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Katasana, bound angle pose. The closer our heels are to our bodies, the more intense this is on our hips. So you can have them out like this. So you're still getting the benefits of Sukasana, but you're more comfortable, right?
Okay.
Yes. Thank you for asking that question. And does anybody have any questions about the alignment of our body, right? Because in our daily lives, unconsciously, not only are we, is it common for us to breathe shallow, we also kind of like have a little, kind of really lean forward, kind of shoulders, and we're on our devices or our computers or doing dishes or laundry or whatever we do, right? Everything. So we take those moments and we align like we're stacking each vertebra, and we draw the chin back, which no one's taking a photo of us, so we're okay. And we're aligning the spine with the neck. Just kind of play around with that, like kind of slouch, look down, and then slowly take an inhale and slowly begin to visualize stacking each vertebra, one on top of the other, rolling the shoulders down, bringing the neck in line, and then energetically lifting the head off the neck. It's such goodness right there. That is the good stuff for our bodies. I always say if I was going to give homework, that's what it would be. For 30 seconds every hour of the day, you would find our alignment in our spine. Okay, does anybody have any questions about that? Okay, so if you're in your bound angle pose, or if you're in your Sukasana, in Sukasana also your ankles can be crossed or they can be stacked in front of the other, depending on what feels good. So let's play here for a little bit. Let's place the palms on our knees, sit up tall, engage that core, take an inhale, and let's exhale, shift to the right and draw our bodies down through center, tuck the chin to protect your neck, and lift yourself up through the right. And get some movement in here. If it's comfortable to close your eyes, go ahead. Sometimes when doing these circular motions, it makes us dizzy. Feel the hips and the thighs. And the next time you're upright, pause, grow tall, engage the core, take an inhale, and exhale, reverse the circles. One more full rotation around. And pause. Take your time getting there. And when you do, bring those knees in, hug them in. So I say this because I want to always bring body awareness, right? Because so often we're not even present in the body. And I'm speaking for myself too. How many times have we had bruises on our body and we've had no idea where they came from, right? So we sit like this, we grow tall, we rock side to side, close our eyes, and focus on our hips, on our lower back, right? So many dynamic movements happening there. And just pause in stillness. All right. We're going to go into tabletop, but so tabletop, we're stacking our joints. The wrist creases are in line with the mat. And what I mean by that is our wrist crease is the number 11 and the edge of the mat is the number 1 and the edge of the mat is the number 1. So those two, the wrist crease and the edge of your mat, make the number 11. For me, that was the epiphany because I was always kind of having my hands out one way or in way, internally and externally rotating my shoulders, not healthy. Your fingers are spread wide. You press into the thumb and the index finger so you don't roll out on your nerves on the edges of your hand. And then this is the greatest part. You rotate those inner elbows forward, right? So hold on, let me lift my shirt. And so rotate them forward because it stacks our joints, right? The wrist crease is directly under or in front of the shoulder girdle. With the inner elbows rotated forward, you're actually supporting your wrist crease, your elbow, and your shoulder girdle. So kind of play around with that. When your elbow's bent out here, feel how unstable you are. And then bring it up, rotate them forward, and feel the stabilization in your shoulder girdle. Bring your neck in line with the spine, right? We're not hanging it down. The crown of the head's reaching towards the front of the room. Your knees are under your hips. Tabletop is a very active pose. So right here, your arms are active, right? You're pushing through the palms, the fingertips, activating your biceps. Shrink your waist right here. Bring your navel into the spine. And then as if you have a corset on, just feel the waist kind of shrinking here, like somebody's tightening it. And just breathe deeply here. Engage your quads. Try to bring the navel a little bit closer to the spine. I think this is such a deceiving pose because it looks like we're just on all fours, but right, it's super active. Do you feel the heat building? Breathe deeply. Breathe deeply. So if you're on your knees and it's not comfortable, you can put a pillow or a blanket or get yoga foam blocks or pads for under your knees. So from here, we're going to inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, the heart, and the gaze. So your gaze is kind of like right in front of you. You're not like looking up, putting stress on the cervical spine, and your head's not down. It's a gentle gaze. The shoulders are back and down, and re-rotate those inner elbows. Press between the thumb and the index finger. Take an inhale here. Exhale, begin to hollow out the belly, coming into cat pose, tucking the tail, tucking the chin, doming the shoulders. Pause here. We're pausing in the pose, not our breath. Keep rotating the inner elbows forward. Breathe deeply. On your next inhale, slowly move through your tabletop and into your cow. And exhale, hollow that belly, dome the shoulders. Tuck the tailbone and chin coming into cat. And inhale through your tabletop into your cow. You can close your eyes and find the moving meditation here. Allow the beginning of each breath to begin the flow physically to the next pose, right? The perfect marrying of the mind and body connection is breath. And the next time you come into your cat, we're going to extend the exhale, bringing the glutes to the heels, coming into child's pose. Now, from here, some of us, our glutes don't meet the heels, and that's fine. You take a pillow or a blanket, you put them between your heels to keep support on the glutes. And then we're going to have you lower the elbows and roll the wrists, right? We are big on wrist and ankle safety. Well, really, we're big on all joint safety. Well, really, we're just big on safety overall. Rock side to side. Give that lower back a little release. And pause in stillness. So let's inhale, come into our tabletop. So option to stay in tabletop, option to come into down dog. Either way, you're pressed, your thumb and the index fingers pressed on the mat, your inner elbows are rotated forward and you're active, right? So staying in tabletop, you get the benefits, just like down dog. If you want to go into down dog, take an inhale, tuck your toes, and then exhale, come in, lift the tailbone up to the sky. In down dog, we're pedaling it out, bending one knee and then the other. If you stay in tabletop, just shift the hips side to side. You're getting the same benefit, just modifying for your body. Down dog, stay just as you are. Press the heels towards the mat. Doesn't matter if they ever touch. Everybody, rotate those inner elbows forward. Engage the quads so much you can feel the kneecaps move. Take an inhale and then exhale, walk the feet to the mat. Tabletop, you come into a forward fold. We meet there, sway side to side. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. Pause in stillness. Have a big bend in those knees. You can bend and straighten, but don't lock them out, right? Always keep a soft bend in the legs. Pause in stillness. We inhale, find the half lift here. Nice flat back. Neck's in line with the spine, right? It's like tabletop. Take an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Knees are bent, arms out to the side. We keep the knees bent. We inhale with a flat back. We rise up. So those are half sun salutations. We move through a lot of half sun salutations because it's great for the body mechanics. It warms our body up. It loosens everything. And it builds strength. Does anybody, we're going to move through 2 half sun salutations. But before we do, I know a lot of you practice yoga. Do you have any questions about them? Okay. So we'll ground in our mountain pose, pivot onto the ball of 1, drop the heel to the arch, and that's hip distance. That was another big epiphany in my life. We're here. We're grounding all 4 corners of the feet into the mat. Make sure that your feet have skis on. Right? So they're the number 11 also. You know, the number 11 is like the awakening, right? It's a very spiritual number. We inhale, we grow tall, just like when we're seated. We bring the navel in, we shrink our waist, we engage those quads, lift those kneecaps, focus on the inner thighs, engage them. And we'll take an inhale, bring the arms down and then up and overhead. That's a whole inhale. We exhale. Draw the arms out. I'm going to go sideways so you can see. Bend the knees. Look how flat my back is. The neck is in line with my spine. And I lower into a fold with my knees nice and bent. My inhale is the half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, arms out to the side. Inhale, rise. And exhale, prayer hands to heart center. One more. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lifts. Exhale, forward fold. This time we're planting the hands. We're stepping the left foot back. So here we are in a runner's lunge. I love runner's lunge. Great place for blocks, my friends. It lifts your back so that your back can be flat and the neck can be in line with the spine. You can have them at any level you want. So runner's lunge, you're shifting that right hip back and the left hip forward, trying to get level hips. Check out your right knee. It's bent, but it's directly over the ankle or behind the ankle. We take an inhale here. Exhale, plant the left knee on your mat. And if you need to put a pillow or blanket under it, please do. Untuck the left foot. Place the top of the left foot on the mat. And then readjust. Get the hips neutral. Right hip back, left hip forward. Engage your core. Take an inhale and rise. Yes. Loretta, yes, yes. You guys look amazing. Okay. This is why we focus. We bring our hips neutral because it helps with our balance. We focus on the inner thighs. We focus on the core. The palms are facing each other and those arms are active. Roll the shoulders back and down. Now, if this is too much on your shoulders, you can have your hands here. You can have your hands here. It's really about the balance. Anybody have any questions about our runner's lunge, about low lunge, about getting there? Okay. Take an inhale. Exhale, frame that right foot. From here, we untuck the toes of the left foot. We lift that left foot, that left knee. Find your long spine. Take an inhale, plant the hands. Exhale, come back into your forward fold. Sway side to side. Shake your head yes and shake your head no. Find the looseness here. Find the play a little bit like ragdoll, right? Like you just hang out, let the hands hang. And then pause in stillness. Let's inhale, find your half lift. Nice flat back. Pause here. Ground into this. Your core is engaged. You're shrinking your waist. Your knees have a soft bend. The neck is in line with the spine. Take an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Knees are bent, arms out to the side. Inhale, rise. And exhale, prayer hands to heart center. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands. This time we step the right foot back. When we step the leg back, we make sure it extends back from the hip and we don't straddle it out wide or bring it behind the front foot. So we're shifting the hip, right hip forward, left hip back. I want you to feel that, right? Kind of wiggle it around a little bit and then find that neutral hip. Take an inhale, exhale, plant the right knee in the top of the right foot and check out your left knee. Is it over or behind the ankle? Is it tracking the second toe? I will always say that because that is the key to your knee safety. From here, we scissor those inner thighs, engage the core, and then on your inhale with a flat back, rise up. Yes. Roll the shoulders back and down if your arms are up, palms face each other. Shift that right hip forward and the left hip back. So you're getting a nice hip flexor stretch here. Breathing deeply. Everybody looks great. We take a deep inhale through the nose. We exhale, frame that left foot, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, take an inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, find your half lift. Exhale, forward fold, knees are bent, arms out to the side. Inhale, rise. And exhale, prayer, hands to heart center. Okay, so runner's lunge, low lunge, neutral hips, inner thigh, core engagement is what lifts us up with balance, right? Does anybody have any questions about them? Half sun salutations, cat and cows. The next class we have is strengthen and stretch with a slow flow. So I'd like to go over Utkatasana, chair pose. I know we all love it so much, right? Okay. Let's have the big toes touch and a space between the heels, right? This is like a little pizza. So when we have that, have the knees connected. This is a way to just keep our knees safe, keep our legs safe. So we're here. I'm going to come a little closer. Prayer hands at heart center. Grow tall. Find that mountain pose, right? Grow tall, shoulders back and down. Bring that tailbone reaching towards the mat instead of overarching, right? That's so unsafe for our lower back. From here, we inhale the arms up and overhead, roll the shoulders down. When we exhale, we'll bring the glutes back like we're taking a seat in a chair, except we're going to hang out in the air. So you can bring the arms down, actually. Bring the arms down and have them back like airplane arms, kind of safer on the shoulders. So when we're in our chair pose, obviously the quads are so engaged. Your weight is on your heels. Lift those toes and kind of play with them a little. Looking good. Squeeze those inner thighs. Take an inhale and we'll slowly lift. Bring the arms up and overhead. Let's exhale the arms forward and down and take our chair pose, Utkatasana. Weight is on the heels. Feel that in your glutes here. This time we're going to energetically try to pull the mat apart. So squeeze those legs and try to pull them apart. Of course, physically, they're not moving, right? It's energetically. We're activating those muscles. See if you can sit a little lower, just checking it out. See if you can lift the chest a little higher. Take an inhale, rise. Exhale, prayer hands to heart center. Utkatasana, fierce, right? It's a fierce pose, literally fierce. It builds strength. Well, you can feel it, right? Where does it build strength, right? Everywhere, really. But what I love about chair pose is it actually builds strength in the muscles that, we don't see, and the muscles in our hips, all the muscles that wrap around and keep our hips stable. And that's so important that the muscles around and within our hips are stable so that our hips are safe, right? Does anybody have any questions about Utkatasana? Okay. It's fun. Does everybody love it? All right. So let's do one more Utkatasana. And instead of rising up, we'll actually go into a forward fold. So have your big toes touch, have a space between the heels, squeeze those legs together, find the mountain pose, prayer hands at heart center. Close the eyes and breathe. Let's ground into our mountain pose. All four corners of the feet are grounded into the mat. Tailbones reaching towards the mat, your quads, your inner thighs, your whole core engaged. Shrink your waist. You can do this and sitting in a chair. You can engage all the muscles in your body if they're more comfortable seated. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale. Bring your glutes back, bend the knees, take a seat. Squeeze those inner thighs, roll the shoulders back and down. Keep the neck in line with the spine. Take an inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold, plant the hands, step it back to your tabletop, and then come into child's pose and sway side to side. And pause in stillness. Take an inhale. Exhale it out the mouth. On your next inhale, press into the palms and slowly walk the hands to the knees. You can come off the legs. So we worked through Utkatasana, half sun salutations, cat and cow, runner's lunge, low lunge, mountain pose. Did I miss anything? And we worked through a pranayama, Nostril, alternate nostril breathing. Does anybody, I want to take a few moments. It's so important because I want to connect with you. Does anybody have any questions or comments about any of those poses or practices? Do you love one more than the other? How did it feel on your body?
Christine, I have a question.
Yeah.
What does the alternate nostril breathing do?
Great question. Hold on. I'm getting you closer so I can see everyone. Okay. There we go. Hi. Nadi Shanahana, alternate breaths. Okay. It is such a mindful, you have to be so mindful, right? Because you're inhaling, you're exhaling, you're inhaling, you're closing, you're opening, right? So it forces us to be mindful. It forces us to let all of those thoughts kind of go away in the distance because we have to focus. It's a lot going on. When I first started doing it, and it's really hard, and I want everybody to be patient with that practice, because it's kind of like patting your head and rubbing your belly. So please be patient with yourself. And in that deep breathing, so it clears our minds. It really kind of forces us to have a clarity of mind and breath. And it is an opportunity for us to, by focusing on one nostril, to really become hyper aware of the acute breath, right? Every single movement that's happening in the breath. Also, deep breathing taps into our parasympathetic nervous system. So it kind of just calms us, brings us to a state of meditation. Oh my gosh, Kathy, so cute, the baby. Oh. Does that answer your question, Mary Beth?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Did anybody find that challenging with the closing and the opening and the inhaling and the exhaling?
I seem to be able to slow my breath down more when I'm doing that than when I'm just breathing through both nostrils.
Yeah, it's because I think we become acutely present in the moment, right? And yeah, it's a really awesome practice of pranayama. Does anybody have any questions about the physical poses that we did?
I don't have questions, but I have a comment.
What is it, Loretta?
I was able to do the full dog pose without stopping, and I was able to bring my knee up and also put my leg back. Yay!
And you were also able to get up to a low lunge.
Yes, I was.
I saw that.
I am improving.
You're awesome the way you are. You know, I was reading an article yesterday and it reminds me, and I say this a lot, but it just kind of grounds it in again, and watching progress happen right on the screen. It's incredible. I've been teaching virtual yoga now since the 3rd week of March last year. And our bodies are meant to move, right? Our bodies are meant to move. When we become stagnant, when we become TV watchers for hours, at a time, our bodies, they start making noise, right? They start getting cranky. And the minute, really, like it doesn't take long once we start moving our bodies and start connecting our mind, body, and soul together. Our bodies are like, oh yeah, okay, kind of settle in, right? We have injuries from the past, whatever, that we all work through. The body is the body. But I mean, really, our physical being, we are hunters, we are gatherers, we are, right? Our bodies aren't made to be stagnant on our computers or on our TV or right. So this is a whole new world, and we need to honor our bodies and what it's meant to do. And that's to move our bodies. Okay. Anything else?
This is Joyce. This is my 2nd class. The 1st class, I wasn't able to do the down dogs because of my knees, but I think Loretta mentioned getting some knee pads. So I did get some no cry knee pads from Amazon, and I was able to do it today.
Yay!
Thanks, Loretta.
You're welcome.
You guys, I love that. And does everybody do you have yoga blocks? Yeah. Yoga blocks are our best friends, and they're on Amazon. They're at Marshall's. They're everywhere. They really help your practice when you're in a low lunge and you have to have your hands on the mat, right? And that makes the shoulders slump, and then we're looking down, right? And we're losing our form. You have blocks. You see the difference, how elevated I am, and my hands will be on blocks and I'll be supported instead of this, right? So I highly recommend blocks, highly, highly. All right. I can't believe it went by so fast, and I apologize for my internet, but thank you so much for just breathing through it. I think that the time of just kind of grounding while I was kicked off the internet, but I think that time of grounding, bringing yourself into the present moment and being with your breath probably was more helpful with the pranayama, right? The alternate nostril breathing, because you were already kind of steeped in, and then it was, maybe for some of us was easier to do. All right. Any other questions or comments about anything? Poses, breath. Wow. It was a great class. I have another class 30 minutes after this, strengthen and stretch with slow flow. I love that name because we do all of that in that practice. We will be doing Utkatasana in chair pose in the next class, and don't let that be a deterrent for showing up. And I really just want to thank all of you. Thank you so much. Let's all meet together with prayer hands at heart center. And smile from the inside out. Breathing in gratitude because it is Thankful Thursday. Thank yourself for coming to your mat, for being a lifelong learner, curious and committed to your health and well-being. To seal our practice together today, we'll take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. The divine light within me truly bows and honors to the divine light within you. Namaste. Thank you again for your patience. Thank you again for always inspiring me. And it's just a wonderful time to be together. I'm going to share my slides, although they went away. Oh yeah, because I was kicked out. All right. So at Get Set Up, if there is an interest group that you would like to host, if there is a class you would like to see on the schedule, and I know some of you have put that in the feedback, thank you. We're looking at that. If there is a business or a company that you believe aligns with the Get Set Up philosophy of improving and enhancing the lives of older adults, and if you don't receive a recording of this class after, please go. The big email for all of us to remember is help@getsetup.io. That brings you everywhere. Get Set Up has tried to make it so easy for us to refer our friends and family to this platform. So you can do it through the calendar on your computer. You can copy the link after you register and email it to a friend. And you can also do it on your mobile phone. So please invite your family and friends to all these classes. I was looking at the schedule yesterday, and I just think, there's a class on making paper roses, paper flowers. I don't know. That's so cool, right? I haven't done that since I was a kid. I really want to take that class. Anyway, there's just so many amazing classes. So please look at the schedule and check it out. After this class, you'll receive notes. You will receive classes that you might be interested in and the schedule of upcoming classes. And like I said, in a half hour, I teach strengthen and stretch with slow flow. I teach one class tomorrow morning. I teach one class on Sunday. And then Monday and Wednesday, I teach, and Thursday, I teach 3 classes. Today, I'm not teaching an afternoon class because my best friend is here from the East Coast and we haven't seen each other in a year and a half. So we're actually going to spend a little time together. So I'm super excited about that. So thank you. I will miss you though. Anything else? Okay. Thank you. Who am I seeing at the next class? Who's going to be there? Rosemary. What is that, Rosemary? What's that? Is it the Utkatasana? Should I have not said that?
Yeah, no, I might be there.
All right. Well, thank you all. Thank you all so much. I will see you soon. Take care. Stay hydrated, okay? Keep breathing, drinking a lot of water. Thank you.